Hello guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Steve Avlocher and I'm going to be speaking about FTK Imager Lite. So what is FTK Imager? FTK Imager is a computer forensic software which is basically used for digital investigations. It is a court-cited disk imaging program and you can use it to make disk and memory image files. You can use it to view evidence disks and image files, and you can also use it to analyze image and memory files. So, FTK Imager is basically a software that you can use for digital investigations, for analysis, and you can also use it to do a little bit of file recovery. So as we said earlier, FTK Imager can be used in digital investigations, and you can use FTK Imager to save images in multiple formats, including AO01 formats, DD formats, and RAW formats. While we're doing the demo of FTK Imager, we're going to talk a little bit more about the various formats that it saves the files in. And images obtained using FTK Imager are admissible in a court of law. This is because of certain technicalities which I can't go into right now, but basically once done right and once you use a write blocker to obtain the images, it is admissible in a court of law. So you can also use FTK Imager to recover deleted files. So basically, if the file has not been overwritten, you can actually use FTK Imager to recover it, and you can also use FTK Imager to obtain live Windows registry files. Basically, Windows doesn't let you copy live registry files, but with FTK Imager, you can circumvent that particular Windows restriction, and you can be able to obtain live Windows registry files. So what are we going to do in this demo? In this demo, we're going to create a disk image using FTK. We're going to hash the image using MD5. And finally, we're going to capture a live memory dump of a test system, which is, well, a laptop in this case. So let us go right into the demo. This is the GUI of FTK Imager. It looks pretty simple, but it is pretty resourceful. So basically, what we're going to do right now is we're going to create an image of a hard drive, but my hard drive is 1 TB and it's gonna take hours to image that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an image of a USB flash drive I have attached to my system. So the very first thing that we do is we go over to File, click on File, click on Create Disk Image. So over here you have options for the source evidence type. So basically you can create an image of a physical drive, you can create an image of a logical drive or a logical partition. You can create the image of another image file. You can also create the image of the contents of a folder. But what we are going to do is we're going to create the image of a physical drive. So we're going to click on Next. Over here, we're going to select the particular drive we want to create the image of, and it's going to be the USB device, which is HP. And we're going to click on that, and we'll click on Finish. So over here, we're going to add the image destination. So before you can add the image destination, it's going to ask you to add an image type. You're going to have to select an image type. So you have a RAW format, you've got a SMAP format, you've got the EO01, and you've got the AFF format. RAW format is a byte-to-byte image file, so it has no compression whatsoever. It's just a byte-to-byte representation of the hard disk. And the EO1 and the AFF files, you can compress an image, and oftentimes you would want to use either the EO1 or the AFF, but we will use the AFF in this demo. So you click on next. Over here you can add evidence information about the image that you're creating, case number, evidence number. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to click on next. So we click on image destination folder where we want to save our image. It's pretty important that you save your image in a location that has a whole lot of space, because if you don't, midway into the creation of the image, you would have a problem whereby it tells you that you've run out of space. So make sure that you have enough space in your destination folder. So we give a name to the image. I would just call it assignment. And over here, we can you have an option to compress the image. I'm going to leave it on the default, which is 6. And I'm also going to use AFF encryption. Usually when you're doing a forensic exercise, it's pretty important that you encrypt your file to ensure the integrity of the file. Click on finish. Yes. So we click on password. I use password. Please don't use password. This is just an exercise. You do not want to use password as your password. So click on OK. And this is very important. You need to click on this, verify images after they're created, because basically what this does is that it computes the MD5 hash algorithm for the physical drive, and it's going to compute the MD5 hash algorithm for the image you've created. It's going to compare the two together to ensure that they match. So we click on Start. So it is creating the image, and according to its calculation here, it's going to take about 12 minutes to create the image. So while the image is being created, I want to talk about how to create a live memory dump. So what is a live memory dump? Live memory dump is basically capturing the memory, the RAM of your system. So you want to capture all the information in the RAM of your system. You create what is called a live memory dump. So basically, the advantage of creating a live memory dump is the fact that there's a lot of information that is in the memory that is not on the hard drive. Like for example, if you're using TrueCrypt, the encryption keys sometimes might actually be in the memory, but it would not be located on your hard drive. So if you need to look at the encryption keys or look at certain information, you would only be able to find it in the memory. So with FTK Imager, we can actually create a live memory dump of the memory in a system, and we can analyze it at a later time. So to do that, we click on File, we click on Capture Memory, then we click on the destination path where you want to store the live memory dump. You name the file. You should include the page file, otherwise you're going to miss the part of the hard drive that's where Windows swaps memory to. And then you would also want to click on create 81 file, so that it's going to create it in the 81 format, which a whole lot of other software can read. So then you click on capture memory, and when you click on this, it's going to go through a pretty long process to capture it. It might take a bit of time, but we are not going to do that at this moment because it is pretty resource intensive and it's going to take some time. So Basically, this is all you have to do a live memory capture. So the image was successfully created, as we can see here. If you click on image summary, it's going to give you a bit of a summary of the image. Over here, you can see the MD5 checksum. This is a computer checksum. So before it creates an image, it actually does an MD5 checksum on the physical drive, then it does an MD5 checksum on the image itself, and it compares the two together to make sure that they're the same. And as we can see here, they're both the same. So we have successfully created the image. So a quick recap: we learned how to create an image. We also learned how to capture a live memory image. And that's it, folks. Till next time. Bye bye.